Can y'all see me? I thought my computer was tweaking.
I couldn't hear nobody. Y'all can hear me?
We couldn't hear you. I'm sitting here like, bro, what's going on?
No, I was saying y'all. I think everybody lights look, you know what I mean, a little dark. But I want to say y'all, how y'all ladies feeling today?
I'm cool.
Y'all cool on this Thanksgiving Eve?
I gotta work, so I don't get no Thanksgiving. Every time I gotta work.
No, same here, same here. I gotta do work too. I gotta do a little work.
Well, I'm off.
Congratulations.
I'm officially off. I just gave myself the day off.
Shout out to you. What's up, man? How y'all been? It's been like a week since last time we hopped on here. How y'all been? Like, what's
I
new?
haven't seen you in
I
so
wasn't here last week.
We missed you.
I missed y'all.
We missed y'all.
Cody and his misogynistic ways, I had to like it was
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
needed someone to back me up a little bit. But
How was I being misogynistic?
I'm just playing. I'm just
Huh,
playing.
it's
No, you don't gotta play.
it's
This is the season to speak up.
just talk. How you been? How was
I can't remember. It was something about something. I don't know. We was talking about something. You always give a little misogyny a little bit.
Yeah.
I know I do sometimes. I can't even stunt. I know I do a little bit. I'm working on it.
I'm
okay?
glad you're doing the work.
Doing my shadow work.
Okay.
Hell, here we go with this. Turn on the lights, man. Talk about some shadow. I hate y'all hear this. All right, man. Well, y'all wanna hop right into it, huh? Let's just hop right into
Yeah.
it. Topic number one: Diddy and Cassie settled in a lawsuit. Jay, you want to give us background on what happened?
Yeah, so pretty much last week Cassie filed a lawsuit making some very, very I don't even know what the word is called, like very crazy allegations. I wouldn't say crazy because if they happen, they happen. But pretty much some of the allegations were that he forced her to have sex with other male workers. And whew, that report was very triggering. It was very triggering for me because I am a victim of domestic violence, and or I have been. And some of the things that um, he's being accused of like kicking her in the face, punching her in the head, it was just a little triggering for me. But yeah, that's pretty much some of the things that he's being accused of. It's very interesting though, because as y'all know, the lawsuit was settled the very next day, literally 24 hours later. Um, and we had some people saying that it was a cash grab. We have some people saying that they're proud of her for stepping forward, that she opened the door for more people to come forward. I guess my take on it is, one, I'm glad if all of these allegations are true. I'm glad she's getting her just due in this situation. Obviously, we weren't there, so we don't know 100% what went on. But do y'all feel like he's guilty because he settled and didn't go to court?
Yes. That could seem like, first of all, I don't know any of these people personally, so I want to say thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved, domestic violence, everybody. First of all, so taking it off Diddy and just talking about the situation, I don't want to speak on Puff. I just want to say, like, if it does come off a little sketchy if if you settle in court, you know what I mean? Because if none of this is like, no allegations against you are real, if somebody sues you and you just immediately set it in court to squash it, that comes off a little sketchy.
And then you got to think about how much money they settled. Well, we don't know the exact amount, but she was suing for $30 million. So that's a lot of money. I mean, he's a billionaire, so maybe that's not a lot to him, but that's a large amount of money to settle without trying to prove your innocence at all.
But from what I read, all of this started because she was writing a tell-all book about her experience with Diddy. And then did he try to stop her from making a book or telling the book? So that's where the lawsuit came into play. Because I guess she just wanted her voice to be heard. But at the same time, me looking at it, I don't think it's necessarily a money grab, but she's kind of losing out on a couple $1,000,000 by not putting the book out.
Do you feel like Bree, just as a
Look at
woman, this is
Cody.
some,
So
That was the most Bree specific answer.
look, I'm just telling my truth. Like
That was the
I
most.
gotta
feel
if
like
I'm not
though,
gonna
That's all I would say.
if
Like
I'm not gonna put my book out, I need my revenue from what I was gonna make on my book. So now the book isn't coming out, so she got her revenue.
that's crazy.
And
do
she
you
can do
feel
her
like as a woman, or even just, from a victim standpoint, a lot of people felt disappointed in her because she settled instead of really fighting, to, I guess, allow more other people to come forward, because we don't know everything. And so I've seen a lot of people talking about how they felt like she should have proceeded because, um, we don't know the whole story.
I also
And
think that when things like this happen and you are the activist or the face of the whole
yes,
subject, it's a little hard because if she did go through all allegedly she went through all of these horrific things over like what 10 years, maybe 15 years, and she has to relive that. It's not like she's opening up so that she can heal. No, she's opening up to reopen those wounds to tell her story over and over and over again to the media, to the court, however you have it.
and
Opposed to her being
it's
like
embarrassing too, and it's
it's
uncomfortable.
very
Like,
embarrassing. On top of like what I said yesterday, like you have actual men like Slim Thug spoke up and he was on Diddy's side. So it's like you have to deal with grown men coming against you, speaking out against you. And on top of this man has a lot of power. Whatever allegedly happens, he has a lot of power to shut a lot of people up that could come out and speak out. So if you don't have that support that you thought you might have gotten by speaking out and being an activist and actually going to court for it, that could take a whole different toll on her. So maybe she just thought it was easier for her to be like, okay, let's settle in court and let me get my money and then I could heal in private with my family. I don't
I
blame
think it's too important that, like, us as the public, or just us as people who are, whether you're in media, whether you're in, in other fields, to be mindful of the fact that it is not our responsibility to judge someone on how they choose to deal, how a victim chooses to deal with their trauma. Because it's one thing going to therapy and talking about it with a therapist, and it's another thing going and speaking. I feel like they did a really good job with typing up certain details, because at the end of the day, that's public record and it's never going to go away.
it.
People are aware of these things. But this leads me to my next question, because I was reading something online and it was saying that hip hop is going to have its day when it comes to how they have victimized, especially specifically women, and how we haven't even seen the tipping of the iceberg when it comes to people coming forward, not just with Diddy, but with other people in hip hop. Don't give me that look, okay?
I saw that post too.
Don't give me that look.
Send that post. I need that post.
How does that make you feel, Cody?
Well, the first part she spoke on, as far as that, I'm staying up out of it. You know,
You can't stand out of it.
I
That's
gotta
the
stay, I
problem.
gotta stay up out
That's
of
the
it.
problem.
The,
It's
That's
just
the
the,
don't
problem. That is the
the
problem.
problem is that, like the Jay said, her team did a good job of presenting it. It's out there, the information is out there, so people know what's going on. And I'm never gonna be the one to say what happened. That type of behavior is wrong. So if that's the type of behavior that's going on closed door, it need to be documented. People need to be aware. So that's how I feel about that.
No, I was saying, how did you feel about the whole hip hop is gonna have his day
I,
with
yeah,
the
I was getting to that part, like, cause I was quiet and I wanted to make sure, like, the reason why I had to speak up while y'all was giving that spiel is because, I don't think it was my place to say anything or combat what was being said. But now, as far as hip hop, look, man, it's a lot of you nasty motherfuckers that is about to go down. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a lot. I just know what I see here at the crib, and a lot of my can I say female? I don't know. I get cussed out for saying female, but all my women friends.
females?
I had a whole episode of women kickback go in on me because I said female one day. Like, it was crazy. So I don't be wanting to know. I don't be want no smoke like Snoop. Um,
Insane.
but I do think just by seeing the things that my women homegirls go through here at the crib, like, the shit be crazy, and it's a lot of nasty shit that be happening. A lot of sexual forcing on people, a lot of coercion, a lot of, yo, let me take you out to dinner and talk about business, and then there be some other shit. Like, it be a lot of wild shit, and it's like a lot of dudes feel like there ain't no boundaries. So I think
No.
I think hip hop, I think is needed. I think that type of is gonna be needed to, because I mean,
What does that look like for hip hop, considering that we have the list that I saw that they put out, there was a lot of like iconic rappers
Who
on
is that
that
list?
list.
So many people on that
Like,
list.
when I tell you, what does that look like for hip hop if this now becomes a thing where we are holding our even the most iconic rappers accountable for their behaviors? Because it's not just about sexual assault, it's also about physical and verbal assault that is
Mhm.
going on within the hip hop community against women.
And but I also don't want it to turn into, um, I don't want to say a cash grab also, but I feel like within this happening, a lot of more women are going to speak up against a lot of different hip hop industry playmakers or hip hop musicians. And I don't want it to turn into women thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to speak up just to see if I can get some money. I'm just going to speak up to say, oh, well, even though I know for a fact that I consented to doing this back in 2006, 2007, I'm going to say that I was forced to do it and try to, play a role to get something out of it, because women do that too.
Yep.
I say something.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's needed. I think from the whole perspective of is what is it gonna do to hip hop. I think this is just something that's needed for the world. But if you want to specifically pinpoint hip hop, I feel like hip hop has a tradition of being carefree. The persona and the image is everything carefree. Popping bottles in the club, toting guns, just living carefree with no consequence. And if you get any consequence, it's wrong to have consequences for your actions. Like, look, if somebody get convicted of murder, we free Melly. You know what I'm saying? We free Young Thug for whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, we free every time somebody go jail in hip hop. But it's like, we never think about the victims or the people that they did this stuff to. You know what I mean? So I think being accountable for your actions is something that hip hop needs. So I think whatever comes from this, like, I think it's needed. I think people need to know that you can't talk to women or men any type of way. You can't talk to people any type of way. You can't do anything in those type of way.
I feel like people should start doing the work and start apologizing if you thought that it was ever a woman or man that you offended, that you verbally or sexually or physically assaulted. Start apologizing now. Be
I
serious
think
about it. Do the work on yourself, because, baby, the time is coming.
I don't think it's no apology for the sexual misconduct. I think they just depend on how that woman want to feel or go about it. Because you can't be apologizing if you want some shit because you scared of some shit that's gonna happen to you. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
not even that, but you know how sometimes people grow. Like, a lot of these things that
That's what I was gonna
a
ask.
lot of people on that list are probably 15 or 20 years older than from the
Yeah.
day that these alleged accusations were happening. So you seeing what's going on with Diddy, you seeing what's going on with what happened with Bill Cosby, and you seeing what's happening to all these public figures. Like, it could have you. Like, roll back. You can get a therapist. You can do the work and say, you know what, I was wrong and I did abuse my power in that situation and I didn't realize it at the time. Maybe I was young. Maybe I had too much access. Maybe I had too much power. But I abused my power in that situation. I want to go find these girls. I want to go find this man and let him know, like, gee, I didn't understand it at the time, but looking at it and
I
like
could see how it made you
myself,
feel
I can see
uncomfortable.
how it could have came off as disrespectful.
Let me ask y'all something. How do you feel like, and Cody, out as a man, I want you to answer this first. How do you think hip hop can be better towards women?
That's a good question, Jay. You coming with them today?
How do I feel like hip hop can be better towards women? I don't think because are we saying men in hip hop? Because women are prominent in hip hop as far
I
as
think, yeah, I think men in hip hop, because you guys are the majority in hip hop. So, yes, men. How
men in
can
hip
men
hop.
be better towards women in hip hop?
Better in what way?
What do you mean? Just the overall treatment of women in hip hop.
So what do you mean?
Not necessarily in the hip
I
hop
don't
community,
think.
because people who are just
You trying to see how they treat what can they so let me ask you this question. What do you feel like they treat women wrong?
I think
I
in
think
today's society, women have. I think we just reclaimed our power a lot with all the female rappers that we have right now. Like the
We got
same way, the
we got
same,
female executives.
huh?
We got a lot of women executives in hip
A
hop.
lot
yeah,
of
but
women
women are
executives
also
that work their
objectified a
way
lot.
up. You said what?
So that's what I want you to get to. Like I get to what you're saying, but like what you were trying to say, but you're specifically talking about how you say be ejected.
No, I just mean in general, when it comes to hip hop, we've seen it whether it's in lyrics of songs where misogyny is on full display, whether it is how women feel uncomfortable in certain spaces because men don't take them serious, or in another aspect, like we were talking about last week, about how, like, if you present yourself in a certain manner, you're not taken serious. Or, okay, this is who I am on stage, but off stage I'm a different person. And I just feel like, what are some ways that hip hop can be better towards women?
You can't group all those things, and all those things are case by case scenarios, right? So if you break down the music, okay, music is a reflection. Art is a reflection of reality, right? So in most times, people are rapping about their reality or their fantasy. This is what they want to do. So I can't say that the hip hop can be like, yo, that's just a lifestyle around them. That's a community thing. That's how men view women. That artist, however he was his upbringing, that's how he view women. That's how he view his experiences he want to have with women. That's just
Okay,
that.
so hold on, pause there. So
Okay.
you don't feel like that plays a factor? So the way men present themselves in music towards women plays a factor on how the next generation comes up and views women?
I'm always gonna feel like the music is the reflection of the reality. So when the way men and women treated, dated, courted, and just communicated with each other was different, the music was different. The lifestyle of the black person that's in the hip hop community was different, and it reflected in the art. So I feel like that's just the lifestyle of what we dealing with now as hot girl summers or hot city boys or being outside. Like that's just the lifestyle. That's what's going on in the streets. So if I'm an artist, this is my lifestyle. So I'm displaying this in the music. So I'm not saying that music is dictating that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's women and guys that I know that don't like Sexy Red at all. They hate what she stand for, but they be on some of the shit she be talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it don't I can't blame it on the artist. I just blame it on this is my lifestyle and this is what I'm saying.
And
Now
I also think we have such a variety of, like, hip hop is damn near have like hip hop has a lot of different subgenres inside of just hip hop. So I feel like it's just really just how we say, oh well, it's not radio and it's not the artist that's frying these kids' brains. It's really the parents for not telling them, like, oh, although this artist make this music, like, you don't live this lifestyle type thing. I feel like it's the same way with us, like people, men and women. Like if that's not, that's not your lifestyle, like that's not the road that you want to go down, you don't correlate with this artist, go listen to an artist that you correlate with.
yeah, you can listen. It's so many people like I want to shout out Joel Q. Like He talk about his girl and his like her being his wife and his everything all the time in his music and his new project. Like so, that's his lifestyle. That's what he's living. So that's what he's gonna talk about. You know what I mean? So and then if you want to take it a step further, I think the women executives that's in hip hop, that's they have to, if they want to step on it, they can put for another effort to step on it and not talk about it, but like no, we're not playing that. Or if you do this, we're gonna do this. Or I'm not working with this type of artist. You know what I mean?
But I also feel like in those situations, men executive can speak up more for women executives. If they see something like I just had a sexual harassment meeting with the company that I work for. And one of the solutions that they had was like it's okay for you to speak up on somebody else's behalf because that person may feel inferior. That person may feel like I could lose my job if I say something. But if you see something happening, speak up on it. So I can say on the executive standpoint or even on like the artist and the music standpoint, if you see something going wrong, if you see that a female or a male is being treated or they've been sexually harassed in whatever situation, like speak up on it. Don't be afraid.
That is true.
Especially because men have the hierarchy. Y'all have more
But
power.
we're talking about the music.
But you said music executives.
Just
Right. So if you're a music executive, if you don't like the music that's coming down the pipeline, you can step on it. You can have a movement of the women executives, and yeah, y'all can come together and be like, no, we don't like what y'all doing. We not putting this music out. We can
I
uproar.
think I think what Bree is trying to say, Cody, is that at the end of the day, whether there are women executives or not, and we're looking at it from a standpoint because you guys are talking about two different. I think you guys are talking about two different
I
categories.
think I was answering your first question.
I'm talking about the music.
Okay, so to Bree's point, you don't feel like Cody, okay, so we have women executives, et cetera, and that's great. But there's still someone over them. And 9 times out of 10, that person is a man. And so where does the accountability come in on the men's standpoint to stand up when there's certain situations that are not right? Women history has shown that even if women do speak up, a lot of the times, unless a man is backing them, it doesn't get heard or it's not taken as serious.
And a lot of times when a man does not back them, that woman gets blackballed, especially in the music industry. That woman gets blackballed. Nobody wants to work with her no more. She's either too difficult or
Difficult.
if she
Hmm.
went through some type of any like physical or verbal or sexual assault, always like, oh well, we're done working with her because nobody else is gonna work with her because what if that happens again? Like, no. If
So
you
we're
see
so,
something,
so
go
we're
ahead.
no longer. I just want to be clear. We're no longer speaking on the music part, Jay. We're talking about
It
actually.
all kind of goes together.
It don't go together because if you want to step on a record, you can step on a record. If Bam, prime example, Bam is a woman, a female music director at Power 92. She will tell you in a minute, like, no, we not interviewing this person. No, we not playing this. So if she wanted to step on a record and be like, no, we not playing this, it won't get played. You know what I'm saying? So that's the music part of the game. If you want to be like mute, if we said just okay, we want to be like, yo, we not playing drill no more. Well, we don't play drill. Like Jay Allen
But
stepped
I
on
don't
Jay-Z and Rockefeller records, and they didn't play the shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that correlates with what.
No, that's what I'm saying. You talking about
No.
music. Like that's what I'm saying. We're talking about two different things. We're talking about the music and the objectivity in music and how can we stop them from saying this in the lyrics. That was the one part of Jay conversation. So I'm saying like you can step on that. Like if the women
Okay, so move on to the next part, which is the
but
treatment
before we
within.
move on to the next part, can we acknowledge that if you wanted to end objectivity in the music, you have women can speak up and stop doing
Women
start.
can speak up to an extent. And again, I'm going back to what I said 9 times
I
out of
don't think
10.
that's not a woman or a man thing.
Yeah, it's not. A
That's
man could
not
do
a
the
woman or a
same thing.
man thing.
How so?
Because like you want to use Bam for instance, but if there was over her, like someone over her that was a woman that felt like, well, I don't want like I disagree with Bam, but that's her hierarchy, that's her superior. She's gonna shut it down. That music gonna get played. So I don't think it matters whether that's a man or a woman. I think that just depends on like position or hierarchy.
If that's the conclusion that we can come with this with that part of the music, I have no rebuttal on that. I just when you say stuff like that, and that's why I be saying like if you say that and that's the hill you stand on, you can't go back and say well Shit that Jay just said. Oh well, it might be a man that have something. No, if it's gonna either be, it's not a man or woman thing. Y'all both just agree to that. So
No, we're talking about misconduct versus
whoa, right? That's what I'm saying. We start. She said four different things when she said talking about how men can
I'm
do.
sorry, y'all. I probably should have broke it down.
no, it's not you.
She
No,
broke
you
it.
gonna let it go.
No. Because I'm trying to move on to the next one, but I don't want
We're
to.
trying to move on.
Right, but you have to acknowledge. I want to make sure we acknowledge the
He
point.
wants you to acknowledge his point, Bree.
I
All
acknowledge your
points were
point,
Please
Cody.
all
acknowledge
made.
his
I
point. He wants to feel
received
heard.
that.
Me
All
too.
points were made, and we getting on here talking like every point has to be clearly in within that topic. So within that part, we talked about music. So things, what can be done about the music is the people that don't want that has to step up and form a movement and start. So that's the music part. The next part you talked about the misconduct part. So that's the men mistreating women, the misconduct. That has to, the first step to that is gonna have to be speaking up, right? So like what Cassie did with this, like the first thing she did was like, yo, she took legal. Like I don't know if Diddy did it or if he didn't do it, but she took legal precautions. So the black and white answer to that, if it's misconduct happening, you take legal precautions. Most of the time in this day and age, I know a lot of women have uh what y'all call receipts. Y'all have evidence of things that happen. So now you have evidence that this sexual misconduct happened.
That's not what we was saying.
You said speak up, and you said how.
I'm saying men speak
Men
up
speak
because
up.
in situations like this, a woman can speak up and she
Oh, that wasn't. She said, "How can we start help with sexual?" With the conversation was
how can men
men. How can hip
How
hop?
can men?
How can
How
hip
can
hop?
men in hip
Hip hop.
hop be better
men in
towards women?
Well, that's the first step to that. Is women. If women got to take that step, you have to like the. In order for me to be like, yo, hey, he just did this to Bree. The first thing HR anybody gonna say is, "Where's the proof?"
So let me ask you this
if you
because this
saw it, that's enough proof to open it up. And if you have the power to say, look, I saw this happen, I'm gonna go tell this person, that person, that person. Before you know it, another one of your counterparts that might be a male been like, you know what, I saw him do the same thing to another girl. Now I'm gonna say something. That's all I'm saying. Like if you see it
Oh
happening,
yeah.
it's not happening to you with your power and your hierarchy as a male, say something about it. Whether it's a black woman, whether she Caucasian, Latino, whatever, protect women, especially when you know that you have the power over that person.
let me ask y'all this though, because
Yeah.
when
I
we
get that.
when we talk about women coming forward and speaking their truth, a lot of the times it is met with questions. And now we've seen two sides of this. We've seen sides of it where women have lied, and we've also seen sides of it where women were telling the entire truth and not believed at all. Where do we find this balance between believing women and protecting them, but also being careful, because we do see that history has shown with time, that if you are a prevalent leader in your community, or you have a voice, there's ways that they people will want you to be silenced. And so we see it in certain things being done or whatever. So because there's always that conspiracy theory behind, if a man of power gets accused of something, well, he was about to do this, so you know this happened, and now it's a
Right. He's
scandal
about
to
to have
stop
their
that.
network, so now everybody want to come down on
Where
him.
do we find that balance between believing women, and do we believe the women up front first and then let things play out? Or if it's questionable, are we allowed to then question it, and how does that harm us as women?
I think you got to be realistic about the situation. In a
I
perfect
don't even have an answer to that. I ain't
in
gonna count.
a perfect world, it'd be like, I saw this happen. This is happening. We ride for her. We got her back. I think the real solution. I think and you can never tell somebody how to deal with something that happened to them. But I think anytime somebody is abused or it's something with misconduct, I feel like that person need to make sure they report it, right? And have all their ducks in the order that this what you're doing is going to stand. and this is just strategically speaking. And like I say, morally, I feel like it's wrong anyway around. But strategically speaking, we spoke on blackballing. Like just how people with power can blackball that woman, they can blackball the man and whoever that stands next to them. So I think if you want to solve these type of things, like you want to make sure, I think more people need to have their ducks, not their ducks in order, but like, yo, go come forward, have they proof, do it the legal way, and as we just seen, allegedly with they situation, if you come correct and got everything in order, like there is no blackball, there is no silencing. You know what I mean? So I think that's would probably be the best way. Like people just really coming together and not because Bree was trying to speak on this earlier that she feel like she don't want it to be a money grab. So people just coming out just saying, "Oh yeah, this happened to me." You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it need to be real precaution. I think they need to get like how it be like a class action lawsuit and with the cars and shit. I think they need to find one lawyer and they need to group all this shit together and just Rico everybody that be on some misconduct shit. Rico all their ass in one swoop.
The reason why I ask that is because a lot of the times if we question anything, we are wrong for questioning it. If something don't seem right, it's automatic. Like there's no I feel like there's no the lines are blurred when it comes to those things because there's on one hand, especially with the feminist movement, they feel like you should just believe the woman, and then if you're wrong later. And then there's other people like myself who look at things logically and say, okay, if something doesn't look right, I'm going to question it. I'm not going to just believe whatever just because I'm a woman. I personally don't feel like just because I'm a woman, I have to believe every woman that comes forward. If something don't look right, it don't look right to me. But I think in sense too, listening to my women peers, they have said like that is damaging because there are women who come out and we should believe them first because the next girl she might be telling the truth even if it doesn't look like she's telling the truth.
So we gotta understand that you are everybody's innocence and proven guilty, right? So my standpoint on is always gonna be if you want to solve a problem, you gotta find if you got a problem, you gotta figure out the solution, right? If we want to speak to the feelings and the emotional part of the shit, yeah, like because you can never know if somebody's crying wolf or you can never know if somebody's really going through something. So that's something I don't think we can even really speak on and have a solution to because we don't. There's no way to know. We never know if somebody's playing get back because somebody did something to them. Now they want to make them feel. We never know if this person was really on some slimy, rapey shit. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And like I said, when you play into that part of the game, it's like you can put an innocent person behind bars, or uh you can silence or mute and make somebody that's really going through something feel some type of way. So I can't really touch on that part. I acknowledge it, you know what I mean? I can acknowledge it, but I can't touch on that part. Only thing I can touch on, we want to talk about solution. Like I said, need to be a class action, RICO, sex offender, misconduct on that
But
part.
even with those filed lawsuits, and we've seen it with history, even with filed lawsuits, somebody can be accused of sexual assault 10 times and not be convicted.
This is true.
I mean, we talk about history. One thing about history is that it's different parts of history. You got history where there was no progression, and then you got history in modern day times where they locking people up left and right for shit. So I can't like in this day and time, if evidence is there and if it's being presented right, people are going to jail for shit that they did in 1970. You know what I mean? So we're in a new different era.
But do you feel like so? I'm gonna just use Diddy's. What happened with Diddy, the allegations and stuff. Now with this, she was the first person to come forward and file something. But everyone has heard rumors about his behavior.
Mhm.
Now, does hip hop, and I'm only specifically speaking about hip hop because he is a part of the hip hop community. Does hip hop have an obligation at that point to question those allegations? Do they have a responsibility so that it doesn't happen again?
But it's who questions it?
Everyone, people in media, people who, do we have a responsibility to then keep the story moving forward so that other people can feel comfortable with coming forward?
I do feel like the story is being moved forward because there I saw a post about someone who does a podcast. It was a black woman that does a podcast for Revolt, and she decided to not continue her contract with Revolt because of the allegation. I did see a lot of people standing up for Cassie. I saw a lot of people speaking up for situations that they saw, like, Cassie had a black eye or her lip was swollen one day, and even just like even though Young Jock really ain't got nothing to do with this, but like the resurfaced clips of like Young Jock interviews when he was like, yeah, like, Diddy came down was like, you shave me your head tomorrow, and he like saw that control, like how he spoke on that without even like unknowingly knowing what was going on. I think that keeps the conversation going. It's just all about who has the courage to speak up next. I think I excuse me, I think Cassie served her purpose. Because if Cassie would not have said or filed legal or took legal action, it would not have even been a conversation.
But do you feel like, my question was, do you feel like hip hop has a responsibility to then take it into their, now that it's settled, that's it,
Mhm.
technically, do people that is people who are a part of hip hop have an obligation to continue to move the conversation forward?
I
Is
look
that
at
is that
obligations.
our responsibility?
I look at obligations and expectations kind of the same thing a little bit because nobody you can't expect things out of people, and some people are not obligated to do certain things just because of someone else's actions. I personally don't think it's our obligation to continue it, but if the evidence is there or there are more people speaking up, then yes, we have a reason to.
So what I want us to stop doing uh,
Because what else is there to say?
on this show, like, no, I like the way you did it. I like your statement. Your statement was amazing, bro. But what I want us to stop doing is to stop approaching this like we're not human, right? And I think this is the main support and fucked up in society. Is like not that society is fucked up, but this is the gray area in society that we don't even think about. Is that we're human. So just like how Diddy and Cassie are whatever allegedly going through whatever they're going, we all of us know at least one or two people that's been through this or are going through this, right? And we know what your actions were at the time, and you know what people around you actions were. And like Breeze talk about obligations and expectations, the obligations and the expectations and what you would thought somebody would do, or what you say if that was me in this situation I'd do. More than often, no one does that shit. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So now when we talking about real human people with millions of dollars and relationships with friends and shit like that, like you expect for them to go out the limb and just use their platform because for one, they don't. Some of them don't know because we often got people that we seen that be abusers and people they friends be like, shit, I never seen this side of them. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's still my homie. So I supposed to go off with allegations because somebody said my homie did something.
So that's the thing, is like with cancel culture, that is what is expected of a lot of us. If you speak out and you use your logic in any situation, and it doesn't, that's your logic, that's what you know to believe true, there's the side eye with it because you're expected to go with whatever the opposing, like whatever is being said.
That's because you listen to people care too much about what other people think. Like if
Yes,
you
they
care
do.
if you care that much about cancel culture, well, yeah, I can see why you'll let that affect you. But if you smart enough to understand that you can't be canceled. That's one thing about cancel culture. They don't cancel no one. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be canceled. You like so. I mean, R. Kelly put out a whole AI album. Like he supposed to be canceled. When they hit the streets, people were still listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like people still bump R. Kelly to this day. Like so, ain't no cancel culture.
Do
So
y'all believe in separating the artist from the art?
We're not answering this question today.
Not today.
Let's
But
talk about Party and Meg, because I'm not answering it.
let's cancel them.
We
No,
never
I'm then
answered Party.
I'm definitely gonna put Megan Thee Stallion in that conversation of Krishan Rock. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about like Megan Thee Stallion, Krishan Rock, Blueface, all them go in that sector of people that I just don't want to hear no more about.
Take us out the group chat, child, please. I don't want it.
All right. But it was interesting in the story. The part that I found very interesting is that a lot of people were having mixed reviews on him dropping the diss track, and I seen this from both men and women. They were saying like, "Okay, Party, you soft for dropping a diss track against your girl," and then other people was like, "Nah, it's hip hop. Like, she didn't go on an interview or nothing and said that he did X,
Telling
Y,
his
Z.
truth.
She went and rap and said this. So
I don't feel
if they
like
respond to each other in rap, it's rap, right? It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it was soft at all. I feel like that was a man actually somewhat putting his emotions into his music and telling his truth. I don't think he bashed her at all. I think he just told his truth, and that was fine with it. It made me like Party a little bit more. Actually,
I'm glad you said that because you know the Megan fans was going in on him. Taking my bias, I'm taking okay. So let me
Go
give
ahead.
y'all my thoughts on this. I'm taking my bias out of it for a second because I don't like this girl. But for a second, let me just say this: the only thing that I felt like he did speak his truth. I feel like a lot of it was factual. But what I didn't appreciate about it is okay if you're going to, you know, speak on what happened in your relationship, great. What I didn't appreciate was there was a little sass there with, oh, you went and got lipo and now you, and I get it. He was trying to compare like you're fixing your outside and not your inside and you need to do the work. I just feel like personally that wasn't his business to tell. That was the only part about it that I did not appreciate or like. But I'm gonna say this to all you Meg fans, okay? If
girl,
someone is saying the same thing, people are saying the same things about you, something has to be true. People keep saying this girl is a terrible person. She falls out with everybody around her. There's got to be truth to this. And people have to be realistic about it and not just like her because she's this great artist, but also y'all are defending her and whole time she could be a terrible person to you one day.
but could it just be that she is really just lost?
This is what
Is
I'm
that
gonna
I'm
say.
not, and I'm not trying to make that an excuse for her being terrible or her falling out with everybody around her. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes, and I have friends who like things just happen to them back to back to back to back, and it's like after a while I see them crashing. Like sometimes people are just lost. They never been that low in their life before, and they don't know how to handle it. So imagine being that low in your life, but you got all this access. You can literally wake up tomorrow and do whatever it is that you want to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna give with that, like I said last week about Krishan, there comes a point where you have grace and there comes a point where you have accountability. She has been
Trying that's
going through stuff for years. You have access to everything. You have money, you have access to the greatest therapist you can find on this earth. At some point in time, you have to get your own help so that you don't continue going down the path that you're going down. Now, for me personally, what it looks like is she's a person that will do anything to get ahead. And he said her own ex-boyfriend said it in the song. You found another victim for your album, pretty much this victim of another person to villainize in your album. And I don't know, that song was telling to me, it made me feel like he's starting to question even what happened before.
I knew it was gonna get back to this, Jay. That's why I had that
I'm not
look
gonna say nothing, but I'm just
every
saying.
single
We
time.
talking about the song.
But nah, I would just keep it. I think from my point of view, I lean more so to on Bree's take, as Bree say, like Meg lost her mom and her grandma right back to back, right? Her grandma and her mom, right? Grieving, becoming a superstar, dealing with legal issues with her label. Just a bunch of these people coming at her, got different men trying to strong arm her. She ain't really got no protection. It's just her. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody really there to hold her down. You know what I'm saying? So like Bree said, I could see from perspective of Meg being at her lowest and just going through shit, spiraling out. But in that same breath, like if you a guy and you give your girl grace during a tough time, you can't get mad about shoot back after you just shoot at me and I gave you grace through this whole situation. I didn't go on no interviews.
Okay,
I
that's
stuck.
how.
We
What I took from it too, though.
yeah, like the first time people know we broke up, you overseas with some soccer player, like you
Mhm.
just it's like all right. So you've been humiliated, but I've been humiliated, and I stayed next to you, stand by you. I never put your business out on the street. I just kept it P through the whole process. And the first chance you get, you shoot at me, like
You
And
know, there was
also, I look at it like, for instance, like reality TV. So these people film for 4, 5, 6, 4 or 5 months, and then you gotta wait till filming is over for you to watch it back. So you have to relive it. So probably like 8 months after you not already filmed and lived this shit once, you have to go back on the reunion and everything comes back up. I'm sure Megan didn't record that project and shoot that video 2 weeks before she dropped it.
So here's the calculated part of it though. She dropped this on his daughter's birthday, which I feel like is was the ammo for him to go out and actually say something. I don't even think it was the fact that she accused him of cheating. If he admitted in the song that something happened, so there's some truth to what she's saying. It's just a half truth. But I think the thing that bothered him the most was, yo, why you put this out knowing that the internet was gonna drag me? Why you put this out on my daughter's birthday? I personally, as a parent, I would have had a problem with that, and I would have, out of spot, yes, out of some bitterness, out of some, I would have went forward and said my piece. Like, all right, if you want to shoot the gun, I'm gonna let it all off at this
I
point.
think what people don't understand about relationships, if we don't have no kid about it, or if we ain't one married and we don't got no real strong bond, once we become exes, the gloves are off.
Okay? I'm not trying to hear nothing.
That's all Meg did, but at the same time, she gotta understand she dealing with a dude that got a pin on him too.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So he came back shooting. And I like it for hip hop. I like for them to put their mess out and they business out in a record where they can profit from, opposed to them going on Instagram and
Yeah.
tweeting and going, you know what I'm saying, arguing back and forth, letting the tabloids do it. Okay, you told your story through your music, you did a video, you ran your streams up. I'm going to do the exact same thing,
So
and
I
I'm
saw
gonna
like I saw someone speaking on it, and they said that it, for them, it went back to misogyny, and for them, they felt like it was there were certain parts of the song where he spoke on how nobody around her loves her, and that people who don't know her, nobody around her loves her, and that people that don't know her love her. And she was saying like she was dissecting it from an aspect of like that's what an abuser says to a woman. Like she really dissected it in a way that like she's like he's all the way wrong. Like why did he bring she said one line on the song and he made a whole four minute track on it. And so I think, that was a lot of people's like argument was like that's sassy. Why he do all of that? Like she didn't even mention his name because that was the other part. She didn't mention his name, but he directly addressed her.
Because he knew that she was talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's,
I don't care if it was just one lie. If I, like Cody said, like, G, if I've been giving you grace, you sat here and lied to Gail King, and I still, like, took you in. We was still rocking together. I seen you lie. I met, you know, introduced me to dudes that you done had sex with and didn't even tell me that you had sex with them. I had to find out type thing. Like,
And
and
it
I've
said he
given
said
you
he
grace
asked her
this
too.
long, and you go and put our business out in the songs. G, like, no. You ain't make no I love my man songs when we was together.
That part. That part. He did hold her down throughout all of that. Like even
Exactly. Like,
after the trial, he even made a statement after the trial where he was like, I watched her get dragged. And he said whatever he said after the
he
trial.
was about
It
to
was
fight the baby. Like, come on now. Party, you could come over here. Cause clearly Megan don't know what she doing.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Let's
I'm
party. Calling for Bree. I
Right.
told her to call me.
You better tell Jada Kingdom to move out the way then, because you know.
Okay.
um I agree with everything you just said.
I don't know. I mean, do you okay? So let me ask y'all: do you feel like this is the last of it, or you think she's gonna respond?
I ain't gonna cap. I'm tired of her. I don't even know if I'm still a Megan fan after this. I can't. I can't do it with sis. I was trying to hold on. I cannot do it with sis. If this album ain't hot, I might not be a Megan Thee Stallion fan anymore.
Interesting.
Megan only got good music to me.
She had okay.
She has good
I don't
music,
like
but
her, but she
her
has some
album,
good songs.
her projects does not be given. Like when she put like albums together, they don't be given. When she drop like little like EPs, I be like, all right, I like this. Like, but like
I liked Good News. I'm not gonna lie. There was a few songs on there that I appreciated.
Good News was cool, but like as an album, I don't think it was like a good album.
I feel like all the songs were the same, but they were. I guess they were decent. I mean, I don't know.
But she can
She
rap
make good
though.
songs
My
sometimes.
only thing is that if Party got some head, getting head was the reason why they broke up. Megan, you need to rethink your relationships. How you
He
going?
said that first off, we're not finna get into that conversation because y'all always taking up for men that do sexual acts with other people outside their relationship and
Nah,
acting
I feel like if I'm holding you,
okay
I
with the
feel
fact
like if
that
I'm holding you down.
Well, according to Party, he didn't cheat.
Yes,
he said
So
they was on the break.
it come out on tape, in court, not on tape, but in court, that you was snaking your best friend for a dude, and then you mad the day before you slept with another nigga, the baby, and these two niggas did a song go. So you out here in this industry just starting, and this whole time I'm about to fight these people, so they laughing at me, my pride. I probably ain't getting none because you going through all this extra shit. I'm stressed. At least you can
should
let
have
me.
left.
At
He
least you
shouldn't
can
have
let me
cheated. He should have left.
get a
He
little.
said he didn't cheat and he was not in her house when it happened.
It was how you
So
know it didn't. She never said it was her house. She just said the bed she slept in.
no, I'm
So it was
saying
his
he said
house.
that.
Huh?
He
It
said
was
that.
his
He goes, I did not. He goes, not in your house, not in your bed. You lying to people. You sick in the head.
it was his
Yeah.
house.
It was his house. I'm stressed out. I'm out here wife on a thought. Like
Don't
she,
call
But
her thought
he should have
now.
left. He
she,
should have
she called
left.
me
But
bop,
I see the reason
and
why.
I need to get one off real quick. So yeah, but I still got her back though, because as soon as that shit hit the fan, he's still arguing with Tory Lanez on the internet, knowing his girl be out here thoughting about. So nah, man, let him
He's a
get some,
strong man.
let him get a little slop. You know what I'm saying? Like Megan, that's women, that's y'all problem. Y'all be having y'all a good one, and he just next topic.
Okay,
Next topic.
because you're not.
Okay.
No, not
Next
at
topic.
all. Not at all.
Next topic. What we going to? What we want to do? Want to do? Ye dropped a new track, Vultures.
Shout out to Kanye West bringing it back home to Chicago, man.
Jay, did you?
I have not heard it yet.
I like Bumpla intro. That was cool, and I really like Ty Dolla Sign verse. Dirk was cool. I feel like Dirk just be talking about the same thing.
Mm, the, yeah, it was smooth. It's smooth. I think the dopest part to me about it is that how Kanye gave the exclusive release to like Chicago blogs and outlets. Like he gave it like Ferris was the first only radio. Like Ferris and Power 92 was the only people who had it for a few days. He let Andrew Barber premiere it on you know what I'm saying, on Twitter. So I feel like that was dope.
We need to get Andrew on here one day.
And happy belated birthday to Drew too. It was actually Drew's birthday, like when it happened too.
Oh damn, that's
Yeah,
okay.
happy birthday. But yeah, I think that was dope. I think that was the biggest moment because that moment, like, it was all over the world, and all you seen was just like Chicago hip hop
Chicago,
music
yeah.
everywhere. And I think that also kind of sparked the conversation. I seen somebody say like, "Yo, why don't artists do this more?"
Do what more? Just only drop
Like
on
give
radio?
exclusives to their hometown.
Hmm.
Some artists do that.
Some artists do that. I think too.
It's
It
just don't be
depends
on
on your
Chicago.
label. Your label has a lot of control over who has it, um, and where you from. You don't think where you from plays a part in that?
Yeah, I want to speak more so locally. I would love for more local artists to do that, and I would love for more media outlets that with a voice in the platform give that opportunity to local artists. And this is the local artist that's making moves. Like I ain't just talking about Joe Smo, but like people that's out here moving and shaking. I feel like we need to start doing that. You know what I mean? Like when they go back into like how they just talk about like how New York people they go straight to flex or clue. You know what I'm saying? When they want to draw some shit. You know what I mean? Like I would love to bring.
But also, when you look at it like that, you gotta think Flex has a bigger platform than a lot of radio radio DJs in other markets. So if you from like Alabama and you go to DJ so and so, DJ Alabama, like your people gonna hear it, but it's not gonna get blasted all over the internet like Kanye just did with Ferris.
I think it also depends on how it's presented. When you look at the way like DJ, if it's a DJ Clue or even Sway or a DJ Funk Flex, like they go there and they really make it like a thing, like it's an event to go there and like present it in a way. So I think that plays a factor in it as well. Like, are they gonna come here? They barely come here, so are they gonna come here and really do it right? And I feel like that I don't know, that might affect it as well.
But I mean, it's easier when you in New York because New York is a bigger market. Like I agree with
Right.
Cody. I feel like them Chicago artists should be like, hey, instead of me putting all these marketing dollars into, well, I mean, you can still sub marketing dollars into like paying blogs and stuff, but like making the experience, go on fair show and be like, yo, like let's drop this. I'll do a freestyle for you or whatever you need me to do. Like I think if you making it, if stations or big media platforms were to make it an experience like Flex does, it would make more sense.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, because I remember when Rod did that Chance and Jeremiah are you Merry Christmas Little Mama released on the radio like that
That
wasn't
was a big thing. It was everywhere.
it was an experience like it felt good. It was a moment.
Even, I mean, not to mention R. Kelly, but look at Trapped in the Closet, the way they rolled out Trapped in the Closet. You had to listen to GCI in the morning to get the next song, to hear the
Hmm.
next song, what was going to happen next. So, I don't know.
We gotta get back to that, but it's up to the DJs and radio personalities to actually make that an experience too. Because just putting it on the radio ain't gonna do it no more. Like we need the visuals. It has to look like something.
Yeah. And on the Chicago piece, I just really don't. I think Chicago people just don't love. We got to start loving being from Chicago when we not in the Chicago. Like when we in the city to each other, we don't this shit. We talk down on this shit. We don't love this shit like that. But when we outside the city, we just try to make seem like Chicago the best place in the world.
I think we love
I know
Chicago.
I do
I just think
that.
that we just not doing what it takes to really like push like other markets are doing. Like markets we have in other markets like New York and LA. If we right behind them, we should be right top tier on they ass when it comes to digital. Like there's no way that like Ferris don't have like a segment like Flex do. Like Ferris should be able to put out freestyle and then go to all the blogs like this.
I mean, that's just come from strategic thinking, though. That's like more so programming and just
The
having.
marketing thing.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't think it's hard. It's not hard to do that because I think what's her name? Blasian doll. That's her name, Blasian. She had put on. She put on like the Chicago Wave, where I think Chicago Wave posted it. And it was and she commented and was like, "Yeah, why we don't have something like from FlexGap?" But also we have people like Illinois that have that quality freestyle experience. You feel me? If I was to think about who has something like that, I think Illinois probably got the most quality freestyles from some of the most lyrical rappers in Chicago, but
Yeah,
they just not a bigger platform. So
they ill styles go crazy.
yeah, so all the blogs not gonna pick it up because they not the big platform in the city.
Yeah, and also the blog's not gonna pick it up because you know
You
You got
also gotta put some marketing dollars
yeah,
behind it.
yeah. I'm trying to
You
say
gotta put some money behind. You
yeah.
have
I'm
to
trying to say
market
it the nice
yourself.
way. Like it's like that's how like leads me to the conversation that I had with Bugs and because he posted that like yo
Ooh, my head hurt.
when Bugs Grammy Award winning producer uh he posted that like yo I just got nominated for 4 Grammys this year and not one Chicago blog posted it. It goes back to
How was
the
we supposed to know that?
go
Goes
ahead.
back to your team.
Go in, Bree.
Say go ahead.
I'll just let you do it. You go ahead, do your thing.
How was we supposed to? I didn't know. I didn't know until I saw somebody repost. I guess somebody like reposted his post in the story. I heard of Books. I never exactly knew what he did. Like, I mean, I don't know everybody in Chicago, so my apologies if I should know you and don't know you. But if you don't want, it's different ways to go about this. If you don't have a manager or a PR to send out, like, hey, Books from Chicago just got nominated for Grammys. Let's talk about it. Let's do an interview. Let's do a post. Like, for instance, Swank, Brianna, Gatlin, every time one of her clients are doing something, we get it in all our emails, probably separately, alongside collectively. So it's like if you don't have somebody on your team that's putting out your accolades or putting out your good news, how are we supposed to know? On top of if you know that like the what's the words or like the Illinois or the Face Shore Drives or the Chicago Ways or whatever, if you know us and you follow us, it's as easy. Well, I know for what's the word, it's as easy as just sending it like, hey, I got nominated for a Grammy today. You can send that to our DM. We will make a post and give you all the flowers that you deserve, baby, because we love posting Chicago accolades. We love posting Chicago music. We love posting great things that happen with Black people in hip hop in Chicago because we don't get a lot of it like other markets do. So it's as easy as just sliding in our DMs. Like, but my issue is when you go talking about, damn, ain't nobody, like you complaining, you crying about it. We didn't know. How are we supposed to know? And I feel like that's a little disheartening to a media personality like myself or a journalist like Jayy Marie, because it's like, it's as easy as just sending it out to us. Just like you want us to research you, you can do your research on the media people and the bloggers and the journalists in the city right now. Just so
I
when
agree
things
with
like
you.
this come, just like when things like this come about, you could easily be like, "Hey, Bree," it's people that text me all the time. "Hey, Bree, I just dropped this single. Hey, Bree, Future just shouted me out. Hey, Bree, this person just gave me a cosign," and I'll shoot it over to What's the Word or shoot it over to Chicago Way just off the love, so that we can make sure that your accolades is getting circulated. But when you get the crying about it, that just kind of made me feel away because it's like, bro, as adults, there's always a different way to go about it. And this ain't no disrespect to nobody because I know people gonna be like, y'all don't respect the old heads and the gatekeepers that are in the city. But it's like, nah, G, like this is how things go.
But even with that, with the whole, we're talking about the old heads and the gatekeepers. It's like y'all are, if y'all are the gatekeepers and the old heads of things, you should already know how this stuff goes because you've been in the business for so long.
So don't be
So
crying on the internet talking about ain't
yeah,
nobody give me a shout out. When I think Ferris actually shouted him out. Cody pisses me off every time. That irritates me so bad. It really bothers me because this is my job, bro. Like if I was to quit this right now, I can't go be no lawyer. I can't go be no accountant. I don't know how to do that shit. I've been doing this shit for at least 7, 8 years professionally now. So it's like just like you want me to learn your ropes, you can learn our ropes too. That's how we work together. Crying on the internet ain't gonna get you nothing but a bunch of enemies.
that's true. I just think it's just all about how communicate.
Congratulations to that man. Go crazy.
Communication is key, though. We don't know what you need, right? We're not
Communication
going to
is
always
key.
know what somebody needs.
So I want to chime in and say I like y'all viewpoint on this. So let me throw this wrench in there. I want to see how y'all feel about this. His wrench was that his wrench was well, if you guys are in media and hip hop journalism, y'all should be out going to go look for these stories.
This is my issue, and I say this at least twice a year. Artists, public figures, influencers, people that twerk and shake their ass on the internet, y'all really think we don't have real jobs. Y'all think we sit in front of a computer or on our phones every time. No, my notifications are not pushed on your page, Mr. Bugs. I don't know you. Like, I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Also,
And like my notifications notifications aren't pressed on nobody's but CNN. So
Also,
y'all think we sit
remember
in front of
that
a computer and wait for y'all to post and wait for y'all to go live and wait for y'all to post a story or tell us y'all business just so we can repost it? No. A lot of times the news come directly to us.
I feel like this too. With to Bree, your point earlier when you were talking about when you hire a team to do these things, you're paying this team to do their job to put your stuff out there. Like she said, a lot of us have jobs. We have other things that we're doing. Yes, a part of our job is to look for stories, but at the same time, if you don't have a team putting the story out there, how are we supposed to look for it?
Our job is to research the stories that are already there. When things happen and once we get privy to the things that are happening, that's when we go do our research. That's when we go posting. That's when we go doing actual write ups. That's when we go asking for interviews. That's when we say, "Oh, you just told me you having a listening party. All right, I'm gonna show up. We gonna do some coverage," because we were privy to the information. If we're not privy to the information, unless God tell me, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I don't know, and it's really easy. All you gotta do, make this a clip, timestamp this, baby. All you have to do, shoot it to what's the word DM. Shoot it to Jayy Marie DM. Shoot it to Bree specific DM. You probably don't want to shoot it to Cody because he gonna ignore you. But 9 times out of 10, if it's good and we see it, it's gonna get posted. We here to give Chicago Day flowers. That's why What's the Word was created. We probably one of the only platforms that don't post 90% mess. We give y'all more flowers than anything. All you gotta do is just send it to us. If we don't see it, but you sitting at home being mad at yourself because nobody saw your accolades and you didn't send it to nobody but your close circle of friends, how you expect us to know?
That happens all the time. And sometimes I know personally, I follow a lot of people that's doing some shit. But it's like the time I have to go into asking them and waiting on them to respond, like, yo, what's this? Like, what's the details to all this? Like, I see you doing something. I see people congratulating. It look dope. But it's like, yo, I don't know what's going on. So now I gotta hit you up, get details on what it is, get all the access I need to put this story out properly. And by the time we start having that dialogue, it's some other shit that came on my desk, and I'm not even thinking about you no more. But if you
Not to
sent,
say that, but
no, not just being real,
but
not
a lot of times that's how it happened because we have to go. A lot of times we have to go with what's more trendy in the news. A lot of times we have to go with like what's happening in the now.
or what's already just ready for us to go. Like if you ain't got it already ready to go, like you can't expect for me to inconvenience everything else that's coming down the pipeline because you ain't got this ready to go.
Exactly.
So
So
now
it's
we working on time. So when I get time, I might come back to it in 2-3 days, and now you look like y'all don't fuck with me. But when you could have just had your team could have just sent out like, yo, this is the premise. Y'all ask something go. He go to headshots to use. He go to links. Like your team can send us everything. You know what I mean? They give us time to review it. They give us time to put it out. They give us time to create it how we want to create, and we don't have to ask you that many questions on like, what's this or what this mean or what did you do or what was it at? Like we ain't got to do all that because y'all.
man, look, y'all want to get y'all accolades and y'all information out there. Hire Brianna from Swank. Hire Teresa from Ashford Media. Point blank. Period.
That's another thing too. People don't want to Chicago. And if this is said correctly, I want to make sure we clip this. But Chicago are fucking cheap, and we don't want to feed our own ecosystem.
Because y'all get mad at us about not posting y'all, but y'all don't want to pay a Brianna, but y'all don't want to pay a Teresa to get
Oh, y'all don't
y'all
want to pay. Y'all don't want to pay us.
that need it.
Y'all don't want to pay us, and it's like, yo, okay, if you don't want to pay the blog to post your shit, cool. That's not even our preliminary ways of getting funds. But that's the part of the ecosystem. That's what blogs do in this modern era. Like pay for promotion. Something is being promoted. But let's say, cool, you don't want to play the blogs. All right, cool, I get that. You have to pay somebody. You got to feed the ecosystem because that's how we all get jobs. That's how you create jobs. Like Chicago, people don't want to create money. We don't want to do business. We want to just hustle and just give me. But if you giving money to Brianna can hire an assistant. So now that young PR person that want to get in the game can do PR and get paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody is feeding the ecosystem. But now in the same breath, the relationship we got, she pushing your shit. If you don't want to pay their fee, okay, well then I'll pay y'all to promote my shit. Okay, the blogs are gonna promote your shit, but now our videographers and our staff writers and shit like that. Now we're able to pay them, so now we can pay them. They don't gotta do extra shit, so they can focus on more what y'all doing. So we can catch some shit that you doing for free. Oh, that shit dope. Let's get this up. I want to do a story on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But they don't know how to support the ecosystem. They just want to just take and give me. Not understand when you push it in motion, you feeding your system that's gonna help you in the long run.
Exactly. That is why you need PR. If you want any type of outreach, any type of coverage, you want publicity, hire you a public relations specialist to help you out instead of crying on the internet. Jesus. My bad. I forgot we was on live. What else we got to talk about?
They need to hear that. I mean, I think right now we about to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back.
Yes, it's commercial time.
Hold on. That's it?
Yes, girl, that's
Get
it.
your ass down.
You ain't doing nothing.
That's a dope man.
Up here wasting our damn time. Now,
See.
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
What you just do, Glossy, Bossy?
You did nothing for one. Two, how can you dance in a club and take your damn shoes off?
First of all, hold on. Baby,
Wait,
let me tell you something.
No, you ain't gonna tell
Let
me
me
shit.
tell you
You're not gonna
something.
tell me
I'm
nothing.
motherfucking bossy, so fucking flossy. You don't fucking see me.
Go ahead,
I don't
just
give
go.
a fuck
Just
if
go
I'm
ahead
on.
and go.
I don't give a fuck
What's
if
up
I'm
with
on
your
this fucking.
wig?
What?
Let's get her out of here. Gotta go. Bouncer. We need a bouncer. Bouncer.
They got to stop embarrassing these women like that. Cause why they let that girl get up there and do that like that? Cody, unmute yourself. Damn.
My bad. No, but I was just looking at my phone because while we was doing commercial, I was about to post something from one of our homegirls, No CK. She just did some shit with
Mayo,
Mayel with
did
Lady
she
London.
send it to you?
Nope. And I was started though the process to repost it, share it up on the page, and try to get it going and get it some coverage. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, gee, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And by the time this commercial ends, I'm not gonna even be thinking about it no more.
Prime example. But we can always send it. It's a commercial for their Black Friday sale.
Well, huh, Lady London?
The video of Hun Lady London? No, I think that's from what they just have. Was it Revolt Summit? I think that was Revolt Summit. So
We
that
don't,
was a while ago.
we don't know. We don't know, but that's a prime
But
example.
usually, no, CK will send me something. Like she sent me the one when she was at New York Fashion Week with her and Honey Baby, and we posted that because she sent it to me.
Yeah, but that was just a clear example. I ain't trying to throw no CK under the bus, but that's just a clear example. We see something dope, but you don't know what's going on. And so you don't have the time to push it forward. But shout out to Boss Tech Bootcamp and Origin TV. You know what I mean? Sponsors. You know what I mean? You know, coming to an end. You might not see that. You might not see that commercial on the live for a while. But that don't mean you need to go stop and go watch the show. You
Go
know,
check it out. I feel like I want to watch it now because
it's
every
only
week,
$4.99.
I'm a binge watch. I'm a definitely binge watch. I need
every
something.
week, okay.
It's a
These commercials be.
it's a great show. I like the show mainly because the executive producer is from Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
can we do For the Love of Bree? Because I still don't have no man.
You want to get a man? You want to put
If
that?
I could get a man on TV and get a check behind it, hell yeah, I'll get a man.
I will definitely be down to let's produce that. Let's do that.
What y'all?
Let's talk. Let's talk. Like, how your people call my people?
You are my people.
Right.
So talk to yourself. Whenever you got time, set up a meeting with y'all.
With us. But that'd be dope. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. On the other hand, we do got events tonight. Party tonight, Black Wednesday at Row 24. RSVP now. It's free before 11 if you RSVP. After that, you got to get those tickets.
I want to come.
Come after the party, girl.
I gotta work.
I mean, come out to work. It's going to be a party, y'all. You might see me in the dressing all black.
Rare form.
Nah, I'm going to be cooling. I ain't know it's nothing. I'm cooling. Cooling with my youngest.
You don't never be in rare form.
Nah,
He's too private for that, you know.
I just got a lot going on, man. I'll be back to myself soon.
What you drinking tonight?
Water.
Not one shot of nothing.
No shot of nothing. Cool.
You know, Beyond?
Nope. No Vion at the moment. To Vion, God. See? Hey, if you watching at home, you can get your ass put on this show. Just contact us and we can
Advertisements.
do advertisement. Get all the ads. What I was about to say? Yeah. So before we get up out of here,
somebody said Cody would be a great manager in the comments.
No, Cody won't.
I could speak from experience, child.
Yeah, that manager. Yeah, I think I'll be a good manager one day. I just got to get my clients to actually listen to me. That'd be crazy. I'd be having some dope clients and dope people I come across. They just don't listen to me till shit don't go right.
That's a lot of artists, though. I was just having that conversation yesterday. They don't be listening.
That's what artists do.
And they think that they know everything and can do it.
Yes. And they be like, why you got a team if you know everything?
Yeah. That's why that's the biggest one of the biggest issue in Chicago, period. Chicago people get a little clout, boy, they don't know how to act. They feel like they
That ain't just Chicago people.
That's just Chicago. Yeah. That's just the industry all around. That's why I should have just been an accountant. I say that all the time.
I'm dead. Talking about accountant.
I should have been an accountant so I could count the money. Ain't got to worry about nothing else.
No. Well, I'm glad I had the privilege to talk to y'all today.
This was a great show.
Yeah, it was an amazing show. Like, before we close out, I wanted to ask y'all, like, yo, what y'all been listening to?
I don't know.
I've been listening to Brent Fayez. I mean, we currently listen to you type on this hard ass keyboard, boy. Chill out.
Hey, chill out, man.
I've been really in an R&B mood lately. I heard that new Queen Naija project. I like 2 songs off there.
Isn't that the project Buzz got his Grammy up? No, that's not
it. Yeah, I think he just produced, I think, a song off there.
Congratulations. There you go.
Hey, get out the OG, man. You on?
No, we know. I know who he is now. I didn't know who he was, so now I'm gonna make sure I support.
Speaking of shouting out producers, shout out to one of my homie producer friends, Cool Ass Ice. We got a dope write up on him on the site. He actually just produced a song with CEO Trail off CEO Trail's new album. So y'all go listen to that. I think it's called Strangers, the new song.
No, CEO Trail got CEO Trail project with fire. That's one of the projects I listen to.
Yeah. He produced the song Strangers off that album. So y'all go take a listen. Support the homie.
Well, since no one's really telling what new music they've been listening to, an album that I want to give recognition to is the BJ and Chicago Kids album.
I heard it was really good.
I didn't hear it.
It's musically some good project. It's like Andre 3000 album with words.
We didn't even talk about that. I feel like there's not much to say though.
No pun intended, right?
He ain't saying shit, so we shouldn't say shit. But It was giving very meditation, morning time vibe. So I appreciate it when I did listen to it in the morning when I was getting ready.
Yeah, it's definitely good. It's definitely a little vibe on it.
Yeah.
It says it's supposed to be like it's the frequencies in the album is supposed to like heal your soul or something, and
I felt my soul healing.
bring healing to your soul.
It was giving mending together. I like that.
What's the buzz? Since we ain't really listening to too much, give us some new music to listen to. What's the buzz? Radio's Tuesdays. You know what I mean? We go live at 7 p.m. Submit your track for free for your chance to win free promo and more. Brought to you by the Illinois Media School. The Illinois Media School, where some of the industry's brightest and best talents has came from. Like my boy Donald T. Pongo. Also, these two ladies right here in front of me, Bree Specific and Jay Marie.
You went to Illinois Media School?
Oh my God.
Yep, I sure did.
I did not know that. I just found out Kiki went to Illinois Media School too.
Mhm.
Hey, speaking of that, they wow, they still be running that promo on
Don't even know. Cut it off. We ain't even do that. I'm not doing that today. Not at all. Not
Nah,
at all.
I can't run that promo.
That's how niggas lose clients. Come on, wrap it up.
All right, all right,
Wrap this shit up.
all right. You know what I was gonna say. All right, but nah. Shout out to Illinois Media School. I love what we building up there. I love the relationship we got going on there. Be on the lookout for a lot of dope stuff for 2024. So if you're interested in media and learning more about media, sign up for Illinois Media School. And submit your music to What's the Buzz if you want to, you know what I mean, get your music heard and reviewed. So that's it for me, ladies, man.
In 2024.
You say what?
I'm dropping my diss track in 2024.
Who you dissing?
Them niggas.
Okay.
This
I think I'm gonna drop one too.
No, Jay Marie, you just gotta do like
I got
the
hidden talent.
man.
Huh?
You could do like the interlude on man.
Okay, I got you.
Jay Marie, you actually do have like one of those amazing voices.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I always get
Sound
told
like I
that.
smoke squares every day. I'm confused. No shade to you, Jay Marie. You do have a great voice. Well, what I sound like?
You and Cindy got that shit bad. Y'all got that shit bad. What else would I say? Hey, I love y'all, man. I'm thankful for y'all, man. This was a great show. Shout out to Shay Herbo in the back. We seen all your Facebook.
Shout out to Shay. Holding it down.
Holding it down, producing. Y'all at home, make sure y'all spend some good time with y'all family. Hold y'all mom and dad close, and your grandparents, give them kisses, hugs, and love. That's all for me. What about you guys? What you guys think you want to say?
I do got a word. It is not about the end goal. It is about the journey. Y'all on y'all way to, going towards your goals, just remember that, because I was reflecting this morning, because I started out at True Stars. So I just was reflecting this morning. I'm like, you know what? We always pay attention to where we want to be, but we need to take a second sometimes and look at how far we've come. We've all come very far in our careers and personal lives. So remember that.
That's also how people get comfortable and be like 20 years later, they still talking about the shit that they did 20 years ago. But I shouldn't have said that. You know
No.
Sorry.
Because if you're somebody like me that is constantly looking at the angle, sometimes it's nice to look at what you've accomplished and be like, accomplished.
Nah,
Time to go harder.
That's facts. I think I guess the last thing I want to say out that is that always do things with your end goal in mind. So if it doesn't relate to your end goal, that should be your guidance as far as how you pursue your life and what you want to get into. What you want to get your time to. But then on the flip side, enjoy your journey. Your journey is everything. Enjoy your journey. Live it. Experience it. You gotta get your experience. That brings me to the last thing. Shout out to OG. This candle, I went for her birthday this year, and we went to Black Lux Candles for her birthday. And when you make your candle, you write a message on it. and her message was to strive. I don't know if the light's in the way, but yeah, you can't see it. Her message was strive for progress, not perfection. So it goes relate to what Jayy Marie saying. Yeah, you know, shout out to my mama,
Yeah, shout out
my
to
favorite.
OG.
So yeah, strive for progression.
Why you gotta always do it like that?
Yeah, hey, that should be our clip.
I don't know how to do it no other way. It don't even look right. Like,
This is the regular way to do it.
my eyes don't look right.
Black people always go like that.
See, it's like I'm doing this. All right, man. See y'all later. Talk to y'all later, man. We out, man.